With pandemic precautions in place, Catholic schools welcome students to the classroom. Even as the economy reopens, the need at food pantries remains significant. And a massive new statue at Loyola University pays tribute to the migrants and refugees and reminds us of the role all Catholics play in meeting their needs.
The Archdiocese of Chicago is a vibrant and diverse faith community. We celebrate our faith through worship, evangelization, and reaching out to the needy. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Hello, I'm Bishop Robert Casey, Vicar General of the Archdiocese of Chicago, and welcome to Catholic Chicago. Our Archdiocese schools are back in session. Last year, in spite of the pandemic, our students were mostly in the classroom, and test scores showed noteworthy improvement. The fact alone captured national attention. We dropped in on St. Richard's School near Midway Airport, where teachers shared their hopes for this school year.
All of our students are in person, which is huge. My hope and expectation is that students can learn together, grow together, help each other out. So really building up that socialization again, because I think a lot of students last year, yes, they missed out on some key learning components, but they also missed out on socializing and growing and experiencing things with their classmates.
And I think being able to now come in person instead of being at home has helped not only with academics, but their social emotional learning as well. And I think they become better friends and happier students.
That's what our schools are all about, caring for children, supporting their growth and development. We are so excited about this school year. We had a great year last year with everybody in-person learning, and this year we're going to continue to have in-person learning. We're going to continue to support our students socially, emotionally, have them be with their peers. They're going to continue to learn academically, and of course we want them to continue to grow spiritually. So we have high hopes for this year.
To be honest, I think that the in-person instruction is crucial to student success. And that our students that were here last year and that are still here this year in person, we've seen growth, a tremendous amount of growth in them.
The biggest thing that I was happy about this year was having everybody back in person, because I love having kids work in groups, talking with each other, having to hear students' conversations, listening to what they have to say to each other.
Obviously we want the children to be safe, but we want them to be happy and we want them to be healthy and enjoy learning about math, reading, writing, science and social studies, and the love of God and Jesus.
We just heard from Greg Richmond, the new superintendent of Chicago Catholic Schools. He recently visited our morning radio stream, Catholic Chicago, to bring families up to date on how the school year is progressing.
The school year is off to a good start. Kids are back in person this year, just like we were last year. And of course, we're all dealing with the pandemic. That's been hard on people. We have to be honest about that. But overall, our enrollment numbers are up about 6.5% from where they were last year. That's about 3,000 students, and we actually expect that to go up a little bit more as we get some more data. So that's good news that our enrollment figures are going up. I've had a number of principals say to me that this has been the hardest beginning of a new school year in their career, because of everything going on. So first and foremost to our educators and staff in our schools, I just want to say thank you and how much you're appreciated for your hard work. To our families, I also just want to say thank you to them for entrusting their children to Catholic schools this school year. We were just talking about, Ronnie, I love your example of come home. I think in so many of our schools and those with parishes, it really is a community that people experience. A community, among the students, a community among the parents, a community of all the families involved in the school. So that presence of community in our schools and our parishes really provides a strong upbringing for the children in our schools. It is really hard to find. Unfortunately, it's hard to find that in so many aspects of our society today. I think a lot of other aspects of our society, there's a lot of division. And I think what we find in our Catholic schools are people coming together and supporting each other. And that's really my big message for all of us for this school year, is to just continue to be kind, continue to listen to each other, extend grace to others. We're all struggling to figure out how to best manage this. And there's a million different sources of information out there. And people are all getting information from different places, reaching different conclusions through that information. That's human, that's going to happen. But we can all still listen and respect and support each other, even if we have differences of opinion, especially if we have differences of opinion, right? I mean, it's easy to get along with people who agree with you, but when maybe there's a disagreement and somebody's interpreting things differently than you, let's still extend some grace to each other and support each other and be that community we were just talking about.
You can hear the superintendent's complete interview by logging onto our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. In the modern Catholic faith, we often speak of renewal. Renewal brings us closer to our relationship with Jesus and encourages us to share that joy with others. Here are the stories of 2 Chicago Catholics who have been touched by renewal.
What we're really hoping for people is that they begin a relationship with Jesus. That's what we're looking for. And if they already have a relationship with Jesus, wonderful. How can we help you strengthen that relationship? We started something in our parish where we asked everyone in our parish to begin everything they do with a prayer. And people were just like, what? We never shared who we were as Catholics. So part of this renewal is everyone talking about it. We want people just talking about their faith all the time. You wonder sometimes if you talk to a certain person, might they take it the wrong way if you ask them if you can pray for them, or if you ask them if they're praying. But I'm not afraid to do that anymore. We started talking about the word evangelization as a parish. From the pulpit, we had the deacon talk about it when he preached, we had Father Francis talk about it, and now I think people just understand it. They understand that to evangelize means to invite, it means to welcome, it means to be hospitable. I feel like our job is to plant seeds, and of course, you can't just plant seeds and walk away. You have to fertilize them. You have to till the earth. That's how I feel about our people in the pews, and even outside of our church. We plant seeds using the word evangelization, using the word discipleship. We want to raise up our leaders. We want to turn people into missionary disciples. So it was the job of the apostles, the disciples, to go out, to use the Holy Spirit, to preach, to share, to plant seeds. We asked everyone in the pews at every Mass to make people feel welcome, to build community, to build relationships. That's what it's all about. That's how I see our seeds sprouting. It's real growth in our parish. It has been amazing. It takes time, and it takes a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. When you get that harvest, it's worth it.
I feel very excited about the renewal process. I wasn't at the beginning, but I am now. I see that the need for evangelization is so necessary. Catholics, you don't talk about evangelization, you don't talk about discipleship. You go to church, you do what you're supposed to. You know, Christ is calling us to get out of our comfort zone. Go out and talk to people. Talk about your religion. It's okay. It's all right to say things like, I love Jesus. That's a good thing. I feel very, very excited about evangelization in my life and in the life of the people that I talk to. It's difficult sometimes, especially I was hesitant in the beginning talking about evangelization, to open up, to find a way to communicate your feelings with others. And you'd be surprised how often those people especially Catholics already, who are open to that, who want to share but they were afraid to or were hesitant to, and they open up about it. Then there's 2 or 3 of you now speaking about evangelization and your life with your faith. Evangelization is bringing Jesus to someone, inviting them to actually understand Jesus and to learn about Jesus, knowing that this world is so confused and all you need is love, and that love that Jesus has, which is the Holy Spirit, He gives it to you. I think the not knowing Jesus, it's a shame, you know, that you don't know who Jesus is, because it fulfills your life. You know, He brings you the joy that is missing in your life. I feel very strong in my faith. I'm very happy to be Catholic. I feel very strong that I'm in a good place with my relationship with God, and wanting other people to have that same feeling is a goal.
Still ahead on Catholic Chicago, the faces of migrants and refugees, reflected in a new statue you can visit on the campus of Loyola University.
I am a seminarian.
The Church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood, is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
It weighs 4 tons, is 20 feet long, and reflects on the Church's love for those fleeing oppression. The traveling statue, featuring the images of 140 refugees and migrants, is called Angels Unawares. It's an exact replica of the original at the Vatican. In 2019, it became the first statue added to St. Peter's Square in 400 years. We recently spoke to sculptor Timothy Smalls and to Cardinal Michael Czerny, the Vatican's top official on refugee issues, who traveled here to bless the statue.
Migrants, refugees, it's part of our human experience. For years, I was trying to visually untie the knot of Hebrews 13:2. Be welcoming to strangers, many have entertained angels unawares. I thought it demands a piece of artwork for it. In an instant, I understood exactly how the sculpture should look. A cluster of humans from all historical periods, from all nationalities, from all religions, crowded on a raft or a boat. And in the center would be an angel. But because of the crowd, you could only see the angel's wings. And then symbolically and visually, the angel wings appear to belong to everyone on that boat.
Well, Jesus put it very simply. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. So our faith encourages us to recognize Christ in the vulnerable person on the move, and to respond to that vulnerable person with the hope and the conviction that we will encounter Christ Himself.
Woven within the sculpture is Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. The Holy Family were refugees.
The original casting is in Rome. Loyola University was first founded to serve the needs of the immigrant population in Chicago. We only thought it would be totally appropriate for us to host this statue as it's on its pilgrimage across America. It evokes compassion, it evokes empathy, gives us all a reason to pause, to consider what can we do to really change the life situations of migrants and immigrants and refugees.
You can learn more about the statue by logging on to angelsunawares.org. The lessons from Hebrews 13:2 are at the heart of the Catholic Charities Office of Refugee Resettlement. Cameras have documented the exodus of thousands of people fleeing Afghanistan following the recent pullout of U.S. forces. Catholic Charities is stepping in to help some of these refugees transition to a new life in the United States. Katie Breedeman recently spoke with Elmita Kulovic, who is director of Catholic Charities Refugee Resettlement Program here in Chicago. She was a guest on our morning radio and video stream, The Voice of Charity.
Can you please share with our audience, what are the biggest concerns of our refugee clients this summer?
As you know, in addition to many different concerns that refugees have after arrival to this country, COVID pandemic is one of the issues as well that our clients are facing. It's really challenging to welcome refugees during the pandemic because many services were working and still working remotely. So this is the challenge that together with us, our clients are facing during the last 18 months or 2 years.
And so of our current clients, can you share with our audience what are some of the countries that they have arrived from and some of the situations that they fled?
So currently, for example, in August, actually, we're gonna welcome 4 cases, and all those 4 cases are from different countries. We're gonna actually, in 2 days, we are welcoming case of Syria. This is case of 5 single mother. Case of 4 single mother with 3 children. She's reuniting with her sister after who knows how many years, and it's really amazing, to see how sister is happy that finally they're gonna meet and reunite. It's amazing, and we are already have established apartment for them, furnished apartment, so we are ready to welcome them. We are expecting case of 2 brother and sister from Sudan. Who are entering country in Ethiopia after spending many years in Ethiopian refugee camp. Then another case will be case of Iraqi family with 3 children. They should come on 25th. And recently, last week, we welcome Iraqi woman, a single Iraqi woman. So it's like a lot of varieties, countries that we work with. Majority are, as I said, it's going to be Syria, Burma, Congo. We are expecting to serve people from Afghanistan. So basically, it's really hard now we already have some clients from Afghanistan, the people who used to work with United States, who got their special immigrant visa. We welcome them in recent months or recent years, and it's hard to imagine really what those people are going through and how many phone calls I have from loved ones here asking me how they could bring them, could we help for those people to get a visa and to go to safety. So it's really heartbreaking.
And I know that there's so many unknowns about the Afghan situation right now, Elma, but in a perfect world, if things go well, those who want to leave Afghanistan, what would be the process for them applying for asylum in the United States? They go to their embassy, and then our embassy steps in to review their cases. Can you share a little bit with the audience about the steps that someone goes through, to try to leave their country and arrive in the United States, and particularly the Afghan refugees right now?
Yeah, I wish, that for Afghanistan refugees is going to be really challenging. I think, in general, a refugee resettlement program is really long process. Takes 12 different steps for somebody to enter the United States. starting for United Nations, you apply first for a settlement. Usually such refugees are already outside of their country. Let's say Afghanis' hope is that they're going to go to Turkey, and from Turkey they're going to start processing to resettlement for another country. One of those countries will be United States, and then from this such a long process, eventually they're going to come here. So basically everything started with United Nations, then United States State Department, they take over the cases and start different background checks, interviewing processes, and after this such a long process, eventually those cases will be assigned to one of the 9 national agencies who are providing resettlement services for refugees. Our national office is United States Catholic Conference of Bishops, and we do have a contact with United States Catholic Conference of Bishops. According to the contact, they're going to start assigning cases to us, and from there we're going to wait for their arrivals and start welcoming them. International Office of Migration is providing traveling and scheduling travel for such a cases.
And I was reading yesterday that oftentimes Afghan refugees head to Pakistan first, but they're unable to do that in this case because of COVID concerns. The Pakistani restrictions are much more rigid than they had been in the past. And so, the process is obviously even more challenging than before, but hopefully those steps that you just itemized, can be expedited in some cases to just get those people to safety.
Our thanks once again to Katie and Almeda. Though the American economy continues to open up, the COVID-19 pandemic is still impacting families who are unable to work and make ends meet. A number of Archdiocese food pantries serve our neighbors in need. One of them is in North Chicago, in Waukegan, at Most Blessed Trinity Parish.
We are at the Most Blessed Trinity Parish Food Pantry in Waukegan.
And here we care for people in need.
The food pantry and the soup kitchen next door have been in operation for over 30 years.
There was definitely an uptick in the needs for services.
We doubled our volume after COVID hit, from servicing about 250 families a week to about 500 a week. We supply dry goods, bread, tortillas, vegetables. We also supply wet goods, things like milk, cheese, butter, proteins, fish, chicken, eggs.
Well, the annual Catholic Appeal has been a tremendous help to us, especially over the past year and a half.
Without the annual Catholic Appeal, we might have to close our doors. Our parish is the largest one in the Archdiocese, but is very poor. We think about food and we think about nourishment, but we also nourish the soul, provide that connection to humanity.
You had a chance to meet Father Timothy O'Malley and Marvin Sabito from Most Blessed Trinity Parish in that report. They spoke at length about their parish's efforts to help the hungry on our morning video stream.
This effort grew out of work that was done between St. Bartholomew Parish and St. Joseph Parish, which are both parishes, while suppressed, became what's called Holy Family Parish. And Holy Family eventually became part of what's Blessed Trinity Parish. But they were continually doing great work, and we've used the Blessed Trinity campus for different efforts. But the St. Bartholomew campus, about 20 years ago, became the place for the food pantry. They actually took St. Bart's Church, and it became the food pantry for the community. So for roughly 6 parishes, that's the main location for our food pantry.
Now, how does the supply chain work for a food pantry up there? Where do the resources come from?
Can I just, Marvin, let him talk.
Thanks. Multiple sources. Number one, we partner with the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And so they have their Lake County headquarters in Park City, which is also part of our parish community service area. We also get generous donations from food sponsors, grocery stores such as Trader Joe's, Jewel, Mariano's, Sunset Foods. We also have some very generous sharing parishes that provide not only food, but also manpower to support our food pantry. In addition to our food pantry, we have the soup kitchen. The soup kitchen runs every Wednesday through Saturday, regardless of the day of the year. So if it's Christmas or July 4th, they're still working every Wednesday through Saturday.
Now, Marvin, I have to ask you this question. How did you get involved in this ministry? Because you have even you're talking right now, such a passion for this, and this didn't happen in a vacuum. So how did you get to this point to being so involved with these ministries?
Well, I think it's, growing up in New Orleans, I always tell Father Tim, it wasn't until I left New Orleans, got out of grad school, that I realized the whole world wasn't Catholic, right? And so New Orleans is about as Catholic a place as there is. There's parishes instead of counties, and so it goes back a long way in my family. And then when I worked in the corporate world for about 30 years, and then I worked in my home parish in Highland Park for about 6 months, and then I got the opportunity to come up to Most Blessed Trinity Parish, and it's been a wonder, not only our food parish and our soup kitchen, but again, a little bit about our parish. I think it's the Mother Church of Lake County. I think at one time the boundaries went all the way to Iowa and all the way up to Wisconsin. And we always joked that we were the original Renew My Church parish before there was Renew My Church.
You can see the complete interview on our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. Recently, our parishes took time out to reflect on the role each one of us plays in passing on the faith. It's known as Catechetical Sunday, and Cardinal Blaise Cupich shared these thoughts.
Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, we are honoring and thanking the men and women who serve as catechists for assisting parents in passing on the faith to their children. Pope Francis reminds us that being a catechist is a calling, stating that those lay men and women feel called by virtue of their baptism to cooperate in the work of catechesis. Their response to the vocation as catechist requires the accompaniment and the guidance of their bishops and pastors, and the support of the catechetical leaders and the entire community. Catechists teach us what it means to be missionary disciples, to build community, and to inspire witnesses. All three goals of Renew My Church. These men and women live their faith and share the fruits of their faith with children, youth, and their families. Their spirit of welcoming and accompaniment promotes unity and joy, especially when times challenge us to be mindful and sensitive to the needs of the most vulnerable among us. To assist you in celebrating Catechetical Sunday and your catechist, we have created a Holy Hour for Catechist booklet. I hope it will be a useful resource so that you can join us in prayer and thanksgiving for the catechists and leaders in your community. Peace be with you. May God bless you all.
Don't forget, you can tune in to our radio broadcast each morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on WNDZ 750 a.m. We also live stream on our program's YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. Be sure to connect with us on your smartphone or tablet to learn more about what's going on in the Archdiocese of Chicago. Thank you again for joining us here on Catholic Chicago. I'm Bishop Robert Casey. We'll see you next time.
We invite you to watch segments of Catholic Chicago and hundreds of additional Catholic videos at youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.